U.S. Military helicopter crash in Washington state leaves 4 soldiers dead. Washington State, USA. A tragic incident has shaken the U.S. Army after a military helicopter belonging to the elite 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, famously known as the Night Stalkers, crashed during a routine training mission near Joint Base Lewis-McChord (JBLM) in Washington state. According to official statements, 4 soldiers are believed to have died in the crash. The incident has raised serious questions about flight safety, military training risks, and the future of such operations. The incident, on Wednesday night, at approximately 9 p.m. local time, an MH-60 Black Hawk helicopter was conducting a scheduled training exercise in the rugged terrain of western Washington, just outside the perimeter of Joint Base Lewis-McChord. Suddenly, the aircraft lost control and crashed into a remote, heavily forested area. Eyewitnesses reported hearing a loud explosion, followed by the sight of flames rising from the trees. Emergency services and military units quickly rushed to the site, but the location proved difficult to access due to steep terrain and dense forest. The crash also ignited a wildfire, which spread to nearly 1.25 acres of land. Local firefighters, assisted by military crews, battled the flames for hours before containing the blaze. Officials confirmed that while the fire was controlled, the wreckage area remains unstable and under close investigation. Casualties and uncertainty. The U.S. Army has stated that 4 soldiers were aboard the helicopter and are presumed dead. Their identities have not yet been released, pending notification of family members. Brigadier General Frank Stokes, speaking at a press briefing, emphasized the gravity of the loss. "We mourn the loss of 4 brave soldiers who dedicated their lives to serving this nation. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. Our priority at this moment is supporting the families of the fallen and conducting a thorough investigation into the cause of this tragic accident." Although the Army has not officially disclosed the ranks of the deceased, multiple sources confirmed that the men were highly trained members of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, often tasked with carrying out dangerous and secretive missions around the world. About the 160th SOAR, Night Stalkers. The regiment involved in the crash holds a special place within the U.S. Army. The 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, SOAR, nicknamed the Night Stalkers, specializes in nighttime and low-visibility helicopter operations. They are often deployed alongside Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, and Delta Force units. This elite aviation regiment is known for its participation in high-profile missions, including the 2011 raid that killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. Because of their expertise, their training sessions are often extremely intense, replicating real combat scenarios. That intensity, however, comes with high risks. Night Stalker pilots are trained to fly at extremely low altitudes, under challenging weather conditions, and in hostile environments. Crashes during training are not common but have occurred in the past, highlighting the inherent danger of such exercises. Local and national reactions. News of the crash spread rapidly across the country, prompting condolences from military officials, local authorities, and ordinary citizens. Washington State Governor Jay Inslee expressed his grief, stating, "Our hearts are with the families of these fallen soldiers. Washington will forever honor their service." Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin also released a statement. "The nation has lost 4 of its heroes. We are committed to ensuring their sacrifice is remembered and that a full investigation reveals what went wrong." Although there have been unconfirmed reports circulating on social media suggesting that former President Donald Trump made remarks regarding the crash, no credible mainstream source has confirmed his official statement at this stage. Military spokespeople stressed that only the Department of Defense will provide verified updates. Investigation underway. A specialized crash investigation team has been deployed to the site. The Army's Combat Readiness Center, based in Fort Novosel, Alabama, will lead the inquiry. Investigators will examine flight records, weather conditions, and maintenance logs to determine whether the crash was caused by mechanical failure, human error, or environmental factors. Officials revealed that the helicopter had undergone routine maintenance inspections just weeks prior to the incident and was considered mission-capable. However, they cautioned that technical failure cannot be ruled out until the investigation is complete. Local residents also reported that the weather conditions on the night of the crash were challenging, with low visibility and light rain in the area. While not extreme, such weather can complicate nighttime training flights. The emotional toll. For the families of the fallen soldiers, the crash is a devastating blow. At Joint Base Lewis-McChord, chaplains and counselors have been assigned to support grieving relatives and service members. Military analyst John Spencer commented. Every soldier in the 160th SOR knows the risks they face in training and in combat. But that does not make the loss easier. These men were not only warriors, they were fathers, sons, brothers, and friends. Across the military community, there has been an outpouring of solidarity. Vigils are expected to be held in the coming days both inside the base and in nearby towns. A history of risky operations. This is not the first time a crash has taken the lives of American service members during training exercises. In 2023, 9 soldiers were killed in Kentucky when 2 Black Hawk helicopters collided during a nighttime training mission. In 2021, 3 National Guard members died when their UH-60 Black Hawk crashed in upstate New York. These incidents underscore the ongoing risks associated with military aviation training. Unlike commercial pilots, military aviators are routinely pushed to the limits to prepare for combat scenarios. While this training saves lives on the battlefield, it sometimes comes at a heavy cost. Broader implications. The crash comes at a time when the U.S. military is under pressure to maintain readiness amid global security challenges. Washington State's Joint Base Lewis McChord is one of the largest military installations in the United States, housing both Army and Air Force units. Analysts warn that while training accidents are rare in proportion to the number of flights conducted, each incident raises concerns about the age of aircraft, maintenance standards, and the demands placed on soldiers. The Black Hawk helicopter, first introduced in the 1970s, remains the workhorse of the Army. Despite upgrades, some argue that the aging fleet needs urgent modernization. Others stress that human factors, including fatigue, stress, and complex training conditions, are equally significant. Looking ahead, for now, the Army's focus is on supporting the families and honoring the sacrifice of the fallen soldiers. Memorial services will be announced in the coming days. The Department of Defense has pledged full transparency once the investigation concludes. The tragedy also serves as a stark reminder of the silent sacrifices made by soldiers even outside of combat zones. As Americans wake up to the news of this accident, the story is not just about a helicopter crash, it is about the human cost of military preparedness. Conclusion. The crash of the MH-60 Black Hawk in Washington state is a heartbreaking reminder of the dangers faced by U.S. military personnel every day. 4 highly trained soldiers have lost their lives in service to their country. While investigations continue to uncover the cause, the loss is deeply felt across the armed forces and the nation. As flags are lowered to half-mast and families grieve, America pauses to reflect on the courage, sacrifice, and dedication of the men and women who wear the uniform, those who risk everything, whether in combat or in training, to safeguard the freedoms of their fellow citizens.